Welcome back to Gundamentals. I am not an expert, but here is my take on 3 different nickel-boron bolt carriers for AR-15s. Here we have the WMD, here's the Fail Zero, and here's a Palmetto State Armory branded one. Now, if you're not already aware, nickel-boron is a special coating on the metal parts here that kind of fills in the microscopic gaps and valleys in the metal, which makes it a much smoother finish, so you have less friction when the bolt is moving in and out of the bolt carrier. And the result is you do not need to run any oil with these. In fact, they recommend not running oil. They say that adding oil will actually slow it down. So the big advantage is you don't have to use oil, and not only do you not have to worry about oiling it or the reliability issues with that, but you also don't have to worry about dirt and sand and whatnot caking on to the oil and causing more malfunctions. Another added bonus here is that these clean up real easy because, again, the dirt does not get caught in the microscopic little grooves and valleys in a traditional bolt carrier. So you can literally just use a sock to wipe dirt off on these. I use Rem wipes just because I like to be extra thorough about it, but in a pinch, after the zombies come, you might not have such luxuries. So I actually got the Fail Zero one first. I've had this one for a couple of years, and I've been running this in my AR with the Fail Zero upper as well. So we have the smooth nickel boron rubbing against the smooth nickel boron. And I've put well over 1,000 rounds through this without a drop of oil, and the only malfunction I had was magazine related. Now that said, I think Fail Zero actually messed up on this one. If I can get the camera to focus right. Alright, I think I've got the camera to focus on this here. You can see tooling marks going across here, right along in there and right on the other side. And you can see sort of these grooves that are going up and down instead of crosswise in there. Combine that with sort of the smoky chrome look on this, and you can see sort of some ridges along here as well if the camera's picking it up. I don't think Fail Zero actually finished this before sending it out. I think somebody messed up and sent this out unfinished. Now that said, I have run well over 1,000 rounds with this bolt carrier with the nickel boron upper as well, and I have not had any issues with the bolt carrier. Haven't had any any failures to feed or anything. I did have one issue with a crappy magazine. Switched out the follower and it was fine, but yeah, it just doesn't look like Fail Zero finished this. You can see this has sort of a smoky chrome look compared to the other two here. So next one we'll take a look at here is the WMD brand one. This one you can see, if I can get the camera to focus like on the Fail Zero one, this does not have the tooling marks along here like the Fail Zero has, and you can if you really look closely, you can sort of see a little bit of the grooves going that way on it, but not hardly like on the Fail Zero one. I haven't had this one for very long. I have only run about 30 rounds through this one. Functioned fine, functioned flawlessly. The fit and finish on this is very, very nice. You can see a little bit of tooling mark up here, but that's about it. WMD one is very nice. Palmetto State Armory one here, and I don't know who makes these for PSA. I doubt PSA themselves make it, but there are some fit and finish issues with this one. Granted, like the WMD, you can hardly tell that there's the grooves going the other way, and there's no tooling marks along here, but there are tooling marks in some other spots here. I don't know how many of these are intentional or what. You can see a little E right in there. up on the bolt itself, I'm not sure if this camera can focus in on it here, but you can see that is like grooved down or something on where it catches there. It looks like part of it is missing compared to the other ones. And then let's see here, there's a couple other spots where it just didn't look like, yeah, right in here. I think that's a spot where you would oil it if it were regular bolt carrier. The little serration there is a little messed up. One thing that they do list on the PSA one is the high pressure tested magnetic particle inspected is stamped right in the bottom of the bolt there, and it is not stamped on the other two here, but WMD and Fel0 both spec that has been done. Now the PSA one I have also only owned for a little while, and also only run about one mag through. All three of them look to be properly staked here up at the gas key. Oh, right here on the other side of the gas key, you can see this gouge going across all along there. See if I can get the camera to pick that up. Maybe when the light shines on it just right, you can see it. Yeah, there you go, right there. See that gouge going across that way? Here's another marking here on the PSA one, and I don't know if this is intentional or not. It's right up here, right at the base of the gas key. See if I can get the light to hit this just right. Yeah, you see all those marks? I don't know what the heck that's about. I don't know if they were trying to print like the Hawaii Islands on there or something. That's what it kind of looks like, and you can it just looks like big tooling marks that weren't ironed out before they finished the thing. Oh, there you go. Let the light pick that up just like that. We do not see that on the other ones here. Here's the Fel0. And here's the WMD. Well, here I did find a little bit of tooling marks here on the WMD right in there, right in between the firing pin and the gas key. Again, let's see if we can get the light to shine on that just right. But that's a pretty insignificant spot right there. You can see it's a little uneven as that part meets the cylinder where it was milled out for the firing pin. You can see those little jagged spots there. Just to be fair with WMD. And then if you compare that that oil hole from the Palmetto State one to the WMD one is much cleaner in that area than on the Palmetto State one. And here's a Fel0 one around that hole there. Tooling mark here on the Palmetto State one. So the PSA one was the cheapest of the bunch. It was about $120, I think I paid on sale. The WMD one, I think I paid a little over $200 for. Yeah, it does not have that gouge going across that way. That's just a little bit of dirt in there. Yeah, the fit and finish on the WMD one I'd say is superior. The Fill Zero one I also paid about $200 for, and about $200 for the nickel boron upper. WMD also makes nickel boron uppers as well. So in my order of preference here, I think the WMD one is the best quality, and I would definitely take that one over the others. Again, the Fill Zero one, though, I've had the longest, and it's been pretty reliable for me. You know, 1,000 rounds plus, no problems. The PSA one, I can definitely tell was not made with the same care as the others, so I've sort of relegated it to my my backup bolt carrier. The reason why I have a backup one, if you don't know, is the bolt here is the most likely part to fail on an AR-15 because it takes the most amount of pressure when the round discharges. So I wanted to get a spare one, and then I'm looking at just the price of the bolt itself is like, you know, $100. So I figure, why not just spend a couple extra bucks and get the entire unit with it? So that's why I got that. So this is sort of my backup one. The other two are the ones that I would trust more. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and check out some of my other videos, and we'll see you next time.